Today, we are going to be talking about a song that is so obscure that I tried to find the lyrics on Genius, on Google, and they're not on the internet at all. So I had to type them up. Because of that, whereas last time I, kind of talked around the song and I didn't quote every line, I'm quoting every line this time. It's called Slow and Deliberate by Abdominal and DJ Fase. And Abdominal, he's a Canadian rapper. So I first heard of Abdominal on DJ Format's track, Abdominal and Format, cooking up the splendid concoctions, explosions of flavour. It was called Ill Culinary Behaviour. And it was on DJ Yoda's How to Cut and Paste, one of those. And it was very funny. It's about, like, all the metaphors are food related, but it's about serving up beats and rhymes. The track we're about to talk about today is also about rapping and serving up beats and rhymes, and it is called Slow and Deliberate. This track, I'm just going to go into the lyrics. I might rap them, I might just talk them, we'll just see how this goes. This track, very slow and deliberate, so you can understand the flow when I deliver it. Considerate, for those who've grown to consider it gibberish. Listen to those multis, by the way. Like tones to those illiterate, so we got considerate, a gibberish and illiterate. On the track, he's now going to rap in a more, because he raps quite fast normally, and on this track he's going to talk in a more slow and deliberate way. It's literally the title of the song, don't need to explain that. Why is he talking so slowly? Because he wants you to listen, he wants you to be able to understand. And yeah, because a lot of the time when people listen, so he's saying about gibberish, he's saying a lot of the time when people listen to rap songs, they don't actually pick up the lyrics. This reminds me of a J-Live's track. Do not remember which one, that's going to be a common theme, but he was talking about is this the first time you're hearing this or the third time when you actually catch it? Because generally, and as before, all the lyrics are on the internet and you just can read along with songs, you would listen to rap songs and not catch the lyrics the first couple of times you heard it. It was only like the third or fourth listen, and that repetition of listening to rap songs was part of the pleasure. It was part of catching jewels, as they call them, within the verses. So he says, this track, very slow and deliberate, so you can understand the flow when I deliver it. Consider it for those who've grown to consider it gibberish, like tones to those illiterate. No, not idiots. It's just that they're missing certain listening tools. But school is in session, so pull up your stools. Simple enough. Pupils age range in this class, but it seems the younger one, is safe to say, constantly grasp much faster complexities and nuances hidden in the curriculum, when compared with fellow students who be citizens of a slightly more senior pedigree. But this song should serve as a remedy. However, no penalty for those in the assembly. You can see all the rhymes in here, but it actually sounds just a lot like stream of consciousness, like he's just talking to you the way I'm talking to you now. I love that style of rap. But no penalty for those in the assembly who already be versed in comprehending verses. Like ourselves, possibly. We might already think, yeah, I know about rap, I can listen to rap, mate. I can put on a rap song and understand what they're saying, I'm not an idiot. But he's saying the importance of remembering the basics simply can't be adequately stressed. We'll take a break for the chorus and then commence. And I agree, we should talk about the basics of rap. This is a new series where I'm going to be talking about rap. I've done one before, but this series is going to be called Mark My Words, and it's about me talking about rap songs that I like and why I like them. And some of those rap songs are going to be songs with content that you'll have to have explained to you. Not have to, but I'm going to explain it because what else am I doing? But some songs will be more dense with like metaphors and stuff. This song is very simple and it's just about rapping. So far seems to be about nothing, doesn't it? Here's the chorus. I have to rap this. I be the A, B, D, the O, M, L, N, L, N, I, M, C, and to the right of me, my disc jockey. I don't have to rap this. He's saying, I be the A, B, D, the O, M, I, N, A, L, I, M, C. He's spelling his name out and he says he raps. Fine. And to the right of me, the disc jockey, digging for beats, it's the F-A-S-E, Phase, DJ Phase. We come together so extremely seamlessly, reminiscent of bagels, whipped cream cheese. We're trying to get you on the floor, get your ass out your seat, and move around a little when I be kicking my vocals all over the beat. He isn't, by the way, not on this song. Others maybe, but this song is, this is for listening to and paying attention to. Although that chorus doesn't sound like it. That chorus, if you're not paying attention to the verses could completely pass you by on the first, second, third listen, and then you might suddenly realise, oh, this song's actually about the second verse, which I'm going to read now. Class, you may have noticed in the chorus how I mentioned my name and did the same for DJ Fase, and then we went on to explain our respective roles with this little entity now, how he's the DJ whereas I'm the MC. See, now this is not unusual, in fact it's kind of practice. That line, by the way, it's got the same cadences and a lot of the same words as KRS-One's My Philosophy, the third line in that. See, I'm not insane, in fact I'm kind of rational, which is also in an Atmosphere song trying to find a balance where Slug raps, see, I'm not insane, in fact I'm kind of rational. When I be asking you, where did all the passion go? East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midwest. Nowadays everybody knows how to get fresh. That's a different song, but don't get confused. And then Brother Ali also mentions the third line of My Philosophy by saying, line 3 of My Philosophy by BDP apply to me. Remind me what the fuck can stop Ali? Only me as far as I can see. So the reason I'm gone off on a tangent on that line, not just to show off my rap knowledge, which it also is, but is to point out that in rap and all music, to be fair, there are always going to be references to earlier songs and earlier music. But in rap specifically, people will often use the same line, and you might not even know the first time you listen to it. When I first heard Criminal Minded, if you get that reference, I like you. When I first heard Redefinition by Blackstar, and that's the one that goes 1, 2, 3, most def and Talib Kweli, we came to rock it on to the tip top, and I'm Googling, because I can't remember. 1, 2, 3, most def and Talib Kweli, we came to rock it on to the tip top, best alliance in hip hop, why oh. I had no idea that was a Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One and Scott La Rock song, Stop the Violence. I didn't know. When I then went back and did, the reading, as it were, I picked up on that. I was like, oh my God, the whole song. Not the whole song, but and another one is Mos Def's Children's Story. That's a reinterpretation of Slick Rick's Children's Story. Sorry, I've gone way off course. We're going back to the song. Yes, it's not unusual, in fact, it's kind of practice for the content of the song to refer back to the action of making the song, like reflecting on the process, and I guess maybe my dad put it best when he said, your hip-hop's always about hip-hop. Actually, Pop, that's not entirely true. We also have some more conceptual songs, but then again, you're not entirely wrong. See, rappers like to rap about the act of rapping, in particular, how good they are at rapping, which is true. There are a lot of rap songs I'm breaking from the song. It's hard to know, actually, because this song is so conversational. So, rapping about rapping is one of my favourite genres of rap. There's a Brain Tax song where he's like, pick a subject, it's easy to rap about nothing, but it's difficult to rap about something. I disagree with that. I think both are completely valid. And if your album is nothing but subjects, it gets quite tedious to listen to. It's not fun. So this song is about why rap songs about the act of rapping are good. And I'm just going to read the rest and hopefully not interrupt anymore because Jesus Christ. I'm going to interrupt more. I've got mental problems. Did you know that? So rappers like to rap about the act of rapping, in particular how good they are at rapping, which I'll admit sounds potentially monotonous, but actually put in practice is often just the opposite. Picture a jazz man playing a jazz standard. The simple melody acts as a parameter. We've all heard the tune like a million times, so the art for the jazzer lies in trying to find a new way to creatively put his twist on it. Same way we rock mics on the same topic, namely the topic of rocking mics. Yet still, it's rare to find two songs alike. I'm not a huge jazz person. So my experience of jazz is pretty limited, but I do know that there's a Yesterday's New Quintet album called Stevie. Yesterday's New Quintet is the producer Madlib. You might probably know him from the album Mad Villainy. You know Madlib. Madlib has Yesterday's New Quintet, which is a fake jazz band where he is all 5 members. He's even put out solo albums from some of the members. It's quite fun. But yeah, listening to that, I don't necessarily know the jazz standards, but I could get it from that, he's doing something different with the instrumental to the Stevie Wonder songs, and because you know the original, you're getting, that's where the differences are. So, this next line, I had to listen to 20 times to figure out what the fuck he was saying. And because there's no lyrics on the internet, that was my only option. So what I think he's saying is even longer to the light, unexhaustible, with ingenuity illuminating over the heads of true MCs, easily infinite the variations. What he's saying is you're not going to find two songs alike, and even longer, it can't be even longer, but whatever he's saying is like the light bulb that illuminates over the head of true MCs, the inspiration that MCs can find once they have, developed the skills necessary to rap is infinite. And so is also the pool of songs about rap. There's never two rap songs alike. I'm going to finish the thing. So he then says, honestly, if you consider all the combinations of different voice, punchlines, and flow, a good rap is unique like a flake of snow. Most of that song was very easy to understand about the idea of listening to rap music and going, oh yeah, all the rap songs sound different, even though they're by different people. What? No, all the rap songs sound different, even though they're often about the same subjects, which is money, cars, success, and how good you are at rapping. There are a hell of a lot of rap songs that are just about, I'm very good at rapping and I've become very successful as a result. But none of them sound the same. Like, I can think of songs by Shad that are very technical, punchline-based songs. And then you've got a song like, I should have thought of some examples beforehand. Hi. But that line, and if you remember the song is called Slow and Deliberate, that line is very fast and hard to follow. That line is for MCs. Because rappers can pick up on what he's saying very easily. You're attuned to listening to fast rap and understanding it if you're into rap. And if you are a rapper, you are into rap. If you are a rapper who is not into rap, you can go fuck yourself, because your work is going to suffer. But for now, this is a sort of key for rappers who may be listening, a jewel, if you will, because that is a slang term that rappers use to talk about important messages that are buried within verses. So, he's saying to MCs, don't worry about if you're running out of ideas. The well is infinite. If you think the well is not infinite, that's when it won't be. But if you're thinking like, oh my God, everyone raps about rapping, why am I rapping about rapping? There's a line by Shad where he says, I hope I'm not boring you all rapping about rap, but the only thing I like more than rapping is napping, and I know no one will hit... The only thing I like more than rapping is napping, and I know no one wants to hear about that. So, I think the reason I wanted to talk about that one this early on is because when I'm going to be talking about rap songs, I don't just want to be talking about the songs that are, the most complex verbally. That one certainly wasn't. It had a lot of intricate rhymes, a lot of multisyllabic rhymes, but it certainly was just a stream of consciousness. It sounded like I was talking to you half the time. I also want to talk about rap songs that have literally nothing to say, but say it in a fun way. I want to talk about rap songs that have a lot to say and say it very plainly. I want to talk about rap songs that have a lot to say and say it very coded. So we want to talk about all kinds of rap. We want to listen to rap. We want to listen to rap. This computer's graying out and I probably should check my emails because I've been talking for a while. But we will... Ooh, that's great. Please correct your bank details so we can pay you. Anyway, I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Rap, 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 rappity. Is that the end? That's the end, apparently. Bye.